What's up, guys? Welcome to the Imperfect Swing Golf Podcast. Today I'm joined by none other than the first black African to play in the US Open. Have I got that right, Maddy?
Yeah, correct.
Maddy, firstly, had no idea that you were the first black African to play in the US Open, and I think that kind of speaks to your character. You're not really one to kind of flaunt that kind of achievement out there. But, for people who don't really know who you are, can you maybe give us a little background to, where you started playing golf and also your college background?
Okay, my name is Madalitso Muthiya. I'm from Zambia. Started playing golf in 1989 when I was 6. So played most of my golf in Zambia until I played till I think 17 when I was in Zambia and got recruited to play collegiate golf in the US, and it came by way of me winning an AJG event in Sarasota, Florida. I won by 6, so I was noticed by all the college coaches. I ended up joining University of New Mexico, but amongst other universities gave me a 100% scholarship. I decided to go to UNM. After that, I graduated from university after a 4-year degree in economics and business management. I got on a Canadian tour for 2 years and then got on Corn Ferry after that. So I played 2.5 years on a Corn Ferry. And when I lost my car, that's when I joined the Sunshine Tour. Or I came down, I think 2 or 3 years after to join the Sunshine Tour.
And you've been here for a couple of years. Does South Africa almost feel like a second home now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've spent a significant time and played most of my golf here now professionally. So it does definitely feel like a second home. But once you're on the African continent, everywhere feels like home.
And the competition out here, you've obviously played Corn Ferry and you've played Canadian as well. What's the competition like out here? I feel personally that we probably one of the most competitive tours out there and probably underrated as well.
Well, yeah, the competition is getting stronger and stronger, but it's also evident of how well the South African golfers are doing internationally. So it shows you that there's a great platform and a slew of talented golfers. Apart from that, you've got a great platform in terms of golf courses, how tough they are. So they comparable to the world stage, in my opinion. So they're doing a great job. There's only about 2 countries that I can think of, or continents, that's being Australia and Europe, where they're producing that number of golfers doing well on the world stage. And,
growing up, did you always see yourself being a golfer? Was there a time where there was maybe other options? You do have your degree. Was there always like this 100% in on golf?
Yeah, it's funny. I decided I was going to play professional golf when I was 13. So my late father sat me down and asked me, because I was starting to win a lot of junior tournaments.
Yeah.
And I was doing things that nobody in the country had done. So internationally and locally, he had asked me to, map out a plan for myself. And he asked me, actually, like, where we were sitting, what would I like to do with my life? I said, well, I'd like to play professional golf. And he asked me, what about school? And I said, well, I want to go to university. He said, okay, great. So you're going to get your degree and then you do whatever you want with golf. So he supported me 100% on that. So it was decided when I was 13 that I was going to play professional golf.
And besides golf, were there any other sports that you were, at a decent, towards elite level, or was it mainly golf?
Yeah, I played soccer. I played for the national team under 17. I was actually quite good. I was more of a striker, but I developed a bad knee, so I couldn't really play competitively. I was advised by the family doctor to play less strenuous sports in terms of running, which golf took over. But I was doing karate, boxing, tennis, gymnastics,
just to name a few.
At the same time, so it's just one of those things. It was almost like a fish to water with golf, and it hasn't stopped since.
And playing college golf, how pivotal was that that period for you to become a better golfer? Because I always feel like it's kind of a toss-up to whether it will work for some players or not. For you, it obviously did work. You've had your success as well. How was it for you, that period, and how important was it?
It was very important because you get the best of both worlds. You get to have a chance to have education and at the same time follow your passion, being golf. But second to none was the experience that you get by playing the same courses that they play on the PGA Tour. I mean, we used to play Redstone, so many courses. We played Torrey Pines, and so it was nice to see that you're playing collegiate tournaments on a golf course where PGA Tour players.
Yeah.
You can actually compare yourself to that. And then the same players that play on Corn Ferry and PGA Tour played collegiate golf. So it's something that you can never really replace. So it served me well. The experience that I got there I mean, it wasn't necessarily the easiest, but it was a tough balance because I was coming from a country where they don't play team sports in golf.
Yes.
Whereas in America, it starts from high school. I mean, they play team sports in golf and up to collegiate level, then you're back to individual play in professional golf. So I had to adjust to that, but the other aspect of balancing school and golf was another one. It was a challenge, but obviously managed to do it. And yeah, happy that I went through that.
And, you know, of late, you've had this, you know, I've only come to know about this book that's been written about you and your experience playing in the US Open. Haven't had the chance to read it yet, but can you maybe give us an insight into that process and how did this all come about?
Yeah, so there's a gentleman by the name of Jamie Roth. I met him through the second president of Zambia. He was doing US trade work with Zambia, so the president of Zambia wanted me to, he wanted to do something for me for having put Zambia on the world map in terms of golf. And I was introduced to him, and that's how we developed that relationship. So he helped to facilitate me getting a scholarship in America. First, obviously playing that AJGA event.
Yeah.
So he and my dad would correspond back and forth until I was recruited to play collegiate golf. So he was documenting that journey from when I met him to the achievements that I've had up to after the US Open and currently to where I'm at. So it documents pretty much my father's life story from the time he was younger to transitioning into me and how it came about and how that journey sort of interlinks to me playing golf. And it's an odd journey because nobody has ever actually played professional on my level in Zambia.
So the first of the first.
Yeah.
Now and I think that's quite special, you know, also you showed me the letter you received from the president of your own country. I mean, that's something so almost surreal, like to have that relationship. How has that been? Has that also served as motivation for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a definite motivation as well. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
He's just been newly elected as the 7th president of Zambia, so I've never met him in person.
Okay.
Yeah, so to having to receive that letter from him and those kind words to express basically his gratitude and his recognition of what I'm doing means a lot. So yeah, it's something that's not an everyday thing.
And you know, going forward, you know, this book that's come out, I suppose, you know, being exposed to the American side of golf, it's on such a massive scale, you know, compared to even South Africa. The issue of, well, not issue, but the lack of diversity in golf, is that something that's always been, you know, a point for you to maybe look at to inspire, you know, kids of color to start picking up the game? Because you can see we quite underrepresented in the game.
Yeah. Definitely. I've always wanted to inspire, obviously, people who are coming from those kinds of backgrounds, but also extending beyond that.
Yeah.
From a human level, somebody who's actually trying to achieve a dream and they see that it's possible coming from insurmountable odds and achieving that. Golf has always been an elitist sport, so, and I think it should be that way. Otherwise, it wouldn't be golf.
Yeah.
At the same time, it also shines a spotlight on the fact that if you give an opportunity to somebody and give them a chance, then they'll be able to excel. So that's what hopefully my story exemplifies, and that's what I'm hoping to inspire, that despite you not being in a position to be part of the elite sport, but if you're given the chance, you can actually make it through. So there's so many other people who are talented out there, and they just need that push and that support, which sort of puts a battery in their back, that somebody believes in them.
And, you know, growing up, going through this, you know, challenge of, you know, being an African golfer and playing over in America, were there any inspirations or any people that inspired you, that kept you motivated throughout that period? If you can name a few, and I think maybe specifically golfers in this case, you know, were there any golfers out there?
My father at best was a 9 handicap, but he was a strong influence on me. Just from everything, from life to being an achiever and going after something, even though no one has ever done it, you could actually do it, depending and believing in yourself. So he's number one ultimately. And I used to look up to guys like Nick Faldo, Ian Wisdom. I used to watch a lot of tape. So all the way from the Ryder Cup, when Sam Ryder presented that trophy for it to be the Ryder Cup. So I know the history, diaries, Sam Torrance, Tony Jacklin, a lot of the guys that people don't even know about. I followed that, so I'm quite a follower of the history of golf, but I'm also a fan of many golfers.
And we're at the SA Open, one of the most prestigious tournaments in the history of golf. Plans for the week, I know it's quite a demanding week in weather like this, 35 plus degrees. You know, what's your plans for the week and expectations as well?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, just a tournament rich with history. I mean, it's the second oldest Open in the world, which says a lot. So to be part and parcel of that is a blessing in itself. But I'm looking forward to the week. I've always enjoyed playing the SA Open, and this venue as well carries so much history. I mean, as you walk down the 18th towards the green, there you can see the different winners and plaques, and from legends to Seve Ballesteros. So just to be part and parcel of that, and also go beyond that, hopefully by the end of the week, it will be something great. I'm just, again, I'm the son of the soil, so this to me is normal. You blend in, and you just focused on trying to do the best that I can, you know, given my strengths right now and my weaknesses. So hopefully my strengths override my weaknesses, and I can bring out the best of what I can do this week. And with that,
you know, it's quite a, like you mentioned, it's quite a rich history, both the tournament and the venue. Have you been, you want to watch tapes, have you ever gone back and maybe studied the way maybe Tommy Fleetwood won the NGC back in 2019, looked at the way those guys mapped out and navigated throughout the course? Have you ever done that?
I haven't had the chance. I guess it comes in snippets because I look at different players. I would see Sergio Garcia when he won, when he had that impeccable round. I think he shot, was that 63 or something, bogey free. Lee Westwood. But what I remember the most is Ernie Els actually always making a putt on the 18th hole, you know, for a victory. So I remember that, and then Nick Price beating Tiger Woods here in the playoff on the 18th hole. So those are some of the things that I remember vividly and I've seen. But I haven't studied it hole for hole and see how the guys play. I just kind of try to play it the way I know how.
And to close off, Maddy, where can we get this book? I know it's already #1 on the new releases on Amazon. But for people locally, you know, is it going to be available hardcover, and you know, will we be able to source it out here in South Africa?
Yes, I believe right now we're just trying to push for Amazon South Africa to have, I guess, to have some in some of the bookstores here, as well as Zambia. So it was only released, I guess, a week and a half ago, and it's still on Amazon. So hopefully, some of the bookstores will be able to stock it by before Christmas.
And with that, Maddy, thanks so much. All the best this week, and yeah, we're looking forward to getting those books in our hands.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and keep doing what you're doing. I actually really enjoy your podcast.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks.